That would be up to her. I don't tell my wife what to do.
Amid the glitz and glamour of the Golden Globe Awards, an accidental handshake determined the fate of Hollywood's most charismatic man. Harrison Ford had endured 2 failed marriages and countless broken romances in silence.
I was failing at school. I felt isolated, alone. I found the company of people putting on plays,
leading him to believe his heart had grown callous to ordinary emotions. The moment he faced his destiny, he had to admit a truth completely contrary to public misconceptions. This is the deepest confession regarding his journey to find true love when his faith was nearly exhausted.
My wife and I stood outside and flipped a coin to see whether we would go east or west, and it came up east. And I'd been raised in Chicago.
Harrison Ford did not enter Hollywood with the guarantee of stardom or an A-list contract. Everything began in Chicago in July 1942, where the young Ford grew up under the influence of his mother, a former radio actress, and his father, an advertising executive. His youth at Maine East High School was where his voice first resonated over the airwaves, sparking an undefined passion for the performing arts. Leaving his hometown for Los Angeles to pursue an acting career in 1964, he was unaware it would take over a decade for a nameless carpenter to become an iconic screen face. Ford's early career phase was linked to Mary Marquardt, whom he met back in his school days. When they married in 1964, Ford remained a struggling actor, frequently receiving non-speaking bit parts, and even being underestimated by Columbia Pictures producers for lacking true star quality. Throughout those impoverished years, Mary was his sole anchor, a wife who managed the household, while working as a professional chef to provide for their 2 sons, Ben and Willard. Mary Marquardt's silent sacrifice during Ford's early life became a solid foundation for his later career. According to records from People magazine, Mary was the one who stood firmly behind him so Ford could focus entirely on honing his acting skills. Regarding that period, Harrison Ford himself once confided about his first wife's support. "She saw my potential, even when I was a nobody, without a clear chance on the film set." That was a time their love was built on absolute understanding, a pure affection unblemished by the pressures of fame or the temptations of the flashy entertainment world. The turning point occurred when Ford landed a role in the film American Graffiti in 1973, opening the opportunity to collaborate with director George Lucas. The success of this work acted as a lever, propelling him to the Han Solo role in Star Wars in 1977. Overnight, the little family's life was completely upended. Ford went from an ordinary man in his Los Angeles home to the sudden epicenter of global admiration. His social status change created an invisible distance between Ford and Mary. As the packed filming schedule and global promotional tours consumed most of his time, their once solid bond gradually weakened. Not long after his acting career soared, the 15-year marriage between Ford and Mary officially closed in 1979. Although they chose separation to ensure privacy for their children, rumors surrounding this breakup remained a subject of intense speculation. Choosing separation to ensure the children's privacy, Ford was soon swept into another emotional storm behind the closed doors of his recently dissolved marriage. This was a phase where fame did not just bring radiance, but also stirred risky impulses right on set, where the boundary between scripts and real life became incredibly fragile. The stumbles from the first chapter seemed only the start of a series of complex psychological challenges filled with secrets the public would only understand many years later.
It's so clear, her value and what she brought, not just to Star Wars, but to all of our lives. I'll miss her.
Secrets of a Taboo Romance. The most shocking event during the production of Star Wars in 1977 lay not in visual effects, but in the illicit relationship between Harrison Ford and co-star Carrie Fisher. At that time, Fisher was only 19, while Ford had turned 33, being a man with a family and 2 young children. This information was revealed by Fisher herself in her final memoir titled The Princess Diarist, published in 2016, only weeks before her passing. In this work, she described the days of filming in London as a period of emotional volatility, where the boundary between the characters Han Solo and Princess Leia was blurred by personal impulses. In published diary pages, Fisher described this relationship lasting throughout 3 months of filming. She wrote of her experience with stunning honesty. It was Han and Leia during the week, and Carrie and Harrison on the weekends. This affair occurred in absolute secrecy, to the extent that even close co-stars like Mark Hamill were completely unaware. To Fisher, it was not just a fling, but a young girl's clinging to the hero image on set, while struggling to find a foothold in the harsh entertainment world. The age gap and Ford's marital status created no small psychological pressure for Fisher. In The Princess Diarist, she admitted, "I looked over at Harrison, a hero's face with a few stray hairs on his slightly furrowed brow. How could you ask such a shimmering man to be satisfied with someone like me?" These diary entries reflect the young girl's insecurity before the allure of an actor on the verge of becoming a cinematic icon. To Fisher, it was a brief dream, a fleeting moonlit night she kept secret for dozens of years as an inseparable part of her youth's memories. Harrison Ford's side never officially addressed the specific details Fisher made public. Before the book was published, he was sent a manuscript for review. According to information from Time, Ford provided no response, leaving Fisher's memories to be presented as she wished. This silence is understood by many in the entertainment industry as Ford's familiar distancing attitude toward his private life. He has long been famously private, always wishing to separate work entirely from incidents in personal relationships. This affair ended quietly as it began, when production closed. Although the media and public later exploited this event extensively to those involved, it was a moment that remained in the past. There was no reunion, and no public drama occurred between Ford and Fisher during subsequent Star Wars installments. This indicates the professionalism of both in maintaining a working relationship, even if behind the lens resided the heartbreaks of a young girl first tasting the sweet and bitter flavors of love. The noise of the past gradually faded, giving way to the stability Harrison Ford craved when deciding to embark on a more committed marriage. But within the stability seemingly perfect with his talented screenwriter wife, another invisible pressure began to seep in, gradually eroding the bonds painstakingly cultivated over 2 decades. Historic settlements. Following the tumultuous and whirlwind experiences of the 1970s, Harrison Ford sought a different path, eventually entering his second marriage to Melissa Matheson in 1983. Matheson was far more than simply a wife. She was a brilliant and highly respected screenwriter, the creative force behind the monumental success of the cinematic masterpiece E.T. the Extraterrestrial. The union between one of Hollywood's most formidable acting icons and a screenwriter possessing such profound intellectual depth initially appeared to the public as the quintessential example of a balanced, high-profile family. For nearly 2 decades, they stood as one of the few true power couples within the entertainment industry, diligently raising their 2 children, Malcolm and Georgia, while shielding them from the relentless glare of media scrutiny. This era was widely regarded as the most stabilized period of Ford's storied career, a time when he successfully navigated the delicate equilibrium between starring in global blockbuster franchises such as Indiana Jones and maintaining a deeply private, grounded personal life away from the cameras. Ford's career during this time reached its zenith, but behind the hit projects, the relationship between him and Matheson began showing irreconcilable cracks. According to reports from People magazine, lifestyle differences and conflicting priorities pushed the couple towards separation in 2000. Although both parties made significant, sincere efforts to bridge the gap and reconcile through brief attempts at staying together, it ultimately became clear that their paths had irrevocably diverged. By 2004, they had officially finalized their divorce. This split sent shockwaves throughout the entertainment world, not only because of the immense fame both individuals carried, but also due to the sheer unprecedented scale of the property and asset settlement involved. This divorce remains recorded in history as one of the largest and most complex financial settlements ever handled in the history of Hollywood. It is estimated that Matheson received a settlement totaling approximately $85 million. Furthermore, the agreement included rights to share in the ongoing revenue from the films Ford had starred in throughout their 2 decades of marriage, including iconic works such as The Fugitive. This staggering financial figure underscored the immense career value they had cultivated as partners. But behind these millions lay the profound emotional weight of a chapter coming to a close. Ford was forced to confront the sudden hollow silence of a home that had previously been vibrant with the sounds of his children's laughter. This painful departure from Matheson served as a critical turning point in Ford's personal philosophy. Following the divorce, he dedicated himself to his passion for aviation and charitable pursuits, attempting to reconstruct a life structure that had been completely dismantled. While the marriage ended in failure, the bond he shared with his children remained resilient, and he consistently provided unwavering support for his daughter Georgia's artistic endeavors and his son Malcolm's musical talents. The personal chapter with Matheson only truly concluded when she tragically passed away from illness in 2015, an event that left an indelible mark of grief upon both the family and Ford himself. These hard-won lessons from the collapse of this marriage eventually became the essential foundation that allowed him to cultivate a much firmer, more mature trust in the future. In the quiet solitude of his post-divorce years, he was finally becoming ready for the fateful encounter that would soon change his life forever. Fated reunion. The beginning of Harrison Ford and Callista Flockhart's 2-decade-plus relationship occurred at the Golden Globe Awards in January 2002. At that time, Ford had just been honored with the prestigious Cecil B. DeMille Award. At a post-party event hosted by Miramax, the encounter between the veteran star and the famous actress from the series Ally McBeal attracted media attention. Although there are differing anecdotes about who spilled the wine, both agree that this small incident created a natural connecting bridge, breaking down barriers between a Hollywood legend and an emerging face of American television. The 22-year age gap between Ford and Flockhart immediately became a topic of press gossip. But despite public skepticism, the couple began appearing publicly together at major events, typical of which was the premiere of the film K-19 The Widowmaker that summer. In an interview with People, Flockhart shared about their connection. "I always forget that he is 22 years older than me. It was never an issue between us." Her confidence in the way she viewed the relationship helped them overcome harsh pressures from public scrutiny. An important factor bonding them was Liam, the adopted son Flockhart took in from 2001. Ford was not just a partner to the mother, but gradually became a true father to the boy. In an interview with Reader's Digest, he expressed, "I had 4 children before, but raising Liam is a completely different experience. She did a wonderful job becoming a single mother, and I am happy to contribute a part of the effort to that journey." In 2010, after marrying, Ford officially adopted Liam, completing the family structure for the couple. After 8 years together, Ford proposed to Flockhart during a Valentine's Day holiday in 2009. By June 15, 2010, they held a private wedding at the governor of New Mexico's residence in Santa Fe, while Ford was working on the film project Cowboys and Aliens. The ceremony took place simply under the presidency of Governor Bill Richardson, with legal support from Chief Justice of the New Mexico Supreme Court, Charles Daniels. This event was kept completely secret until confirmed by the artist's representatives, reflecting the private lifestyle both had pursued throughout their years together. The solidity in Ford and Flockhart's marriage did not come from noise or showing off, but from simple codes of conduct. When asked about the secret to keeping the flame alive in their relationship, during an interview with Parade magazine, Ford once humorously shared, "Don't talk, just nod." That was how he described patience and understanding in marital life. After more than 16 years of marriage, their rare red carpet appearances, such as at the Actor Awards in early 2026, still show the image of a fully bonded couple. Their caring gestures, firm hand-holding, and radiant smiles have become the clearest proof of the success of this timeless love story. Through the ups and downs of personal life, Ford finally found his true haven after many years lost between fame and breakups. Finding a compatible life partner not only brought him peace in his twilight years, but also reshaped the values of family in a legend's consciousness. But even having found the perfect soulmate at that award ceremony years ago, Harrison Ford still had to face the harshest tests of destiny, from life-threatening incidents to the pressures of aging in an industry that idolizes youth. His and Callista's journey did not stop at a marriage license, but was proof of a powerful revival from the ashes of the past. When the ghosts of speculation finally faded, there remained only deep understanding and a new life created outside the stage lights. A peaceful haven. Currently, Harrison Ford is no longer the icon of toughness that only exists on screen. The clearest change in recent years lies in the fact that he no longer hesitates to express his gratitude toward Callista Flockhart in public. At the premiere of the film Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny taking place in 2023, Ford had an emotional moment when receiving cheers from the audience. In a brief but emotion-filled speech, he affirmed, "My life has become more complete thanks to the companionship of my wonderful wife, who has always supported every passion and my craziest dreams." That is the most sincere admission a legend has ever given the woman who walked with him through difficult stretches. Their bond went through harsh challenges, typical of which was the 2015 plane accident when the vintage aircraft Ford piloted malfunctioned and crashed onto a golf course in Los Angeles. During the time he was hospitalized to treat pelvic and ankle injuries, Flockhart was the person by his bedside every day. Her dedication became the most important mental pillar helping Ford recover and return to work. According to information from The Hollywood Reporter, although Ford was an experienced pilot, this incident left much reflection for their family regarding maintaining safety and personal passions. Flockhart never discouraged her husband's flying hobby, but instead chose to accompany and share with him in every circumstance. In recent years, Ford continued to renew himself in television projects like 1923 on Paramount Plus and Shrinking on Apple TV Plus. These are not just ordinary roles, but also a way he challenged himself with complex psychological aspects. Notably, his participation in Shrinking brought the image of a humorous, realistic, and deep Ford, far from the rigid action hero persona. In an interview with Variety, Ford once shared that stability in his personal life created conditions for him to comfortably attempt characters demanding delicate emotions. That confidence stems directly from the understanding and solid family foundation Flockhart had painstakingly built over 2 decades. Their life at the 800-acre ranch in Jackson, Wyoming, is where Ford finds silence completely separated from Hollywood. Here he is no longer an A-list actor, but just a man who loves nature, is passionate about environmental conservation, and spends time taking care of his family. They participate together in charity activities, contributing to organizations like Conservation International, where Ford has assumed the role of vice chair since 1991. The ordinary images of the couple when appearing at conservation events or outings with Liam show a truly fulfilling life, independent of trends or stage lights. After all, Harrison Ford proved that age is just a number when it comes to building a quality relationship. The fact that he once publicly called Flockhart the most important woman in his life was not just the confession of a man in his twilight years, but also an admission of a journey to find the truth in love. He went through 2 failed marriages, experiencing the mistakes of youth, to finally realize that happiness does not lie in the radiance of fame. Flockhart's perseverance and compassion tamed the toughness of a legend, turning him into a warm human being who knows how to listen and cherish existing values. The story of Ford and Flockhart became a symbol for perseverance in marriage in the heart of a volatile film capital. When the final curtain of his career closes, what remains is not the medals or the billion-dollar revenue films, but the inseparable bond between 2 souls who found each other after many stumbles. He showed that with enough sincerity and patience, each person can write a happy ending for themselves despite every obstacle of time. That is the simplest truth, but also the greatest thing a human being can achieve throughout a lifetime. If you find the story of this legend's journey to find happiness inspiring, don't forget to hit like and share this video to spread positive values. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on fascinating backstage stories about the next Hollywood icons.